And the opposition for Urban Tolling Alliance has expressed surprise at President Jacob Zuma's passing of the e-toll bill into law. They've said, however, that the National Road Agency, SANRAL, now faces its biggest hurdle yet, that's the public buy-in and acceptance. With this, we decided to go out and find out what people actually think of e-tolls being signed into law.
I don't think I'll be registering for that. First of all, it was done without consultation of the citizens of South Africa, and I believe as a government, you government for people, and before you do anything, you need to consult the citizens, the people that you govern. So it's completely out of the line, and I wouldn't sign for it.
I do support them.
Why?
Because it is important, especially to the community and the people around it.
I actually don't support e-tolling. It's going to kill us. It's going to kill our parents. Our parents are not going to afford to pay for us the transport and the fees. So I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, the Department of Transport spokesperson Tiani Mekotso is joining us now in studio for more on this story. Thanks for joining us today. So from a government perspective right now, I mean, it certainly is seen as it is being perceived to be a positive when it comes to the rollout of the infrastructure plans as a whole. And SANRAL certainly does need this money, Tiani. So tell us what this does from a SANRAL perspective in terms of their financial position, which everyone's saying is sitting in a dire position right now.
Good afternoon and thanks for the invitation. I think people need roads more than SANRAL needs the money. It goes the other way around. But nevertheless, we have reported in the past couple of weeks that we're facing some challenges, more so in relation to our tolled portfolio, because you know that SANRAL's portfolio is broken down into two. You have 83%, which is non-tolled altogether. This accounts for at least 16,000 kilometers of the road network, which is under SANRAL. And we have 17%, which is a tolled portfolio. Out of that 17%, we make specific reference to GFIP, which is the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project, which is currently under the spotlight. Mm-hmm. So indeed, we're experiencing challenges there because SANRAL, as you know, for the past 2 years, it should have started collecting fees since the erection of the gantries that we have on the M1, N12, R21 and these other major highways. So indeed, there are some challenges with regards to that, but SANRAL continues to be a healthy organization because, as I have clearly indicated, the toll portfolio is still in a healthy state. It accounts for the majority, 83% of SANRAL's business.
Obviously the Supreme Court of Appeal is another hurdle right now that we're looking at. If this goes ahead and it's given the nod by the Supreme Court, and that of course is still a question right now, what does this mean in terms of the amount of money that SANRAL needs to take in on a monthly basis in order to be able to start to pay back its debt and start to push its tolled portfolio and the percentage that is allocated to that into a healthy position?
We remain very optimistic with regards to our prospects so far as the SCA processes are concerned. We were there yesterday. We made our arguments very clear, as we did in the Gauteng North High Court a couple of months ago, which, as you know, found in our favor. Hence, we are in the SCA currently. Without having to preempt the outcome of the judicial process at the SCA level, which we should expect any time from yesterday, we are quite confident that it's going to go in our favor because the bone of contention here has been whether government consulted widely before introducing the project. And the North Gauteng High Court found no evidence whatsoever that government could have overlooked any aspect of the legal framework that governs that particular space. So we are quite confident, and we didn't even want to venture into speculation of what's going to happen. Safe to say that it is a challenge which Treasurer has addressed, as you know, during the Minister of Finance budget vote speech. He announced an injection of at least 6 billion rands to assist SANRAL to continue doing its business.
So how much does SANRAL need a month, though?
SANRAL has suffered a couple of upgrades, the recent one being about 2 weeks ago. We need to avoid that situation. We do not need that as a country because not only does a negative credit rating has an impact on SANRAL as an agency, but on the image of the country as and its borrowing capacity, because indeed we need to continue to borrow to fund some of the major infrastructure projects that we have in the pipeline. So we are saying to South Africans, please work with us. It's for the greater good. There are benefits to the upgrades that have taken place. Anybody can attest to that. I live in Johannesburg. I work in Pretoria. Mm-hmm. Previously, it used to take me 2 to to 2.5 hours to go to Pretoria. Now it takes me only 30 minutes or so. So there is some good that has come with this. So we're asking members of the public to work with us the same way we contribute towards electricity, the same way we contribute towards water. Here's the Userpay principle that invites us to work with government in making sure that we have the necessary infrastructure that we require.
Tiani, I think there's a lot of people that don't have a problem with the Userpay principle or the principle of paying for toll roads. I don't think that is really where the contention comes from. The contention comes from the means in which those tolls will be recuperated. Is that part of it cast in stone? In other words, when we look at the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project, the gantries, the way that it's an electronic and sort of having to send out accounts, the cost of
administration.
Of the administration, exactly.
And that is certainly what
is that a potential that model could change, or is that part of the model a given?
Look, we currently have an existing contract with the supply of the technology, which I must say is world-class, comes with many positives beyond just collecting the tolling fee. If ever indeed there is a need to review that in future, that should happen. But for now, that's the current agreement that we have, and we believe that that's the most viable option that we have to collect the fees that we need to collect on the road network in question.
And the tenure of that agreement, how long is that contract for?
Well, it's currently a 20-year agreement that we have. But like I said, each and every contract can be looked at on the basis of challenges that arise as and when you seek to implement. There's no system that's perfect. The system is working well in other countries such as Chile, such as the United States of America.
But those are efficient administrations where the question is doubtful in South Africa whether we'll be able to work at the same form of efficiency that a country like Germany does.
But if we aspire to be a better nation that's progressive, that creates jobs and looks up to stand shoulder to shoulder with the best in the world, we need to aspire for bigger things, and that's exactly what we are doing. The fact of the matter is that there are a number of options that we have explored before we came to this particular conclusion, but this became the most viable option, and we are saying that we shouldn't fear the unknown. We should be able to venture into the future, use the technology that's being used by other prosperous nations to see if ever indeed we'll be able to become the state that we want to become, which is able to respond adequately to the concerns of its citizens.
Yeah.